penguins tearing to the storm, but it's a big group of them, and like they take turns facing it, you know.
Yeah,
A penguin support each other, you know. That's why I say. But
exactly.
yeah, bizarre metaphors coming out right now. Excuse me.
It's all good. It's all good. I like it. I like it. It helps get the point across, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm loving the fact that you're like you've got this plan and you're moving forward with it, and 2021 should be hopefully another step of growth going forward. But like, what sort of like while you were doing this, what made you like go? You know what? I need to add a podcast into this dynamic. like, like,
I know, right? You know why? Why?
it's like, and it's nothing to do with administration as well.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's so the podcast is definitely Christian based.
Yeah,
So I was, like I said, I've always wanted to be on radio.
yeah.
That's what I went to school for. And as podcasting over the years started to come out, I was like, I don't know if it makes sense for me to go apply for another radio station.
You know what? I won't lie. It's a weird time out there right now because yeah, um, like even though like you kind of like a radio, it's isn't it a bit old hat? It's popular still, but
Yeah.
I would say the world is on a turn. If you get
Yes,
me. So
definitely.
yeah, you've got a point. It's like
I mean, even radio stations have a podcast.
yeah. Oh God, like these. I was like
NPR, they have a
yeah, PR, like Breakfast Club, you know,
yes,
thing. You know, I, UK Breakfast Club.
yeah,
It's a New York-based radio station. It might
exactly,
be like broadcast, I think, nationally over there, but
yeah,
yeah, that's how I'm like find out about that. Yeah, Charlemagne the God, yeah, the Breakfast Club.
exactly.
It's like yeah,
And so during this time, like I said, 2020, why not try? Well, actually, it was November 2019 because the elections were big here in the U.S. They were trying to figure out who would be the Democratic nominee, who would be and so they were going through this whole primary process. And I'm a big political person. I've always been. I don't really. I just like to be abreast of everything that's happening, who is doing what, etc. And so I remember listen to different podcasts about the elections, about
yeah.
the primary process, and I heard so much negativity. Um, I heard so much ignorance of, and
Look, you know what? Like all I've got to say with the election process over there, like look, like it was ignorance on all sides. Like,
oh my gosh, yes, it's. I was like, if these people can do a podcast and get listeners from what they're saying, I can at least do something. Like, I was like, I could be a different voice out there for people
I could
who are
just like going, alfalfa, yeah. What you doing? I'm doing a podcast. You, you alfalfa, yeah. You as thick as mud.
I know, right?
If you can do it, I can do it.
Exactly right. It's but that's how I felt, because for me, I know the background I have. Even though I was out of radio and out of television, I never got out of the technical aspect. Like I learned the whole digital thing. I even for different churches or whatever any organizations I was a part of, I was always a part of the tech
Yeah,
crew. And I even helped this church they had started, and I even helped them get their tech together and their team together and stuff like that. So I knew the digital aspect of it. I knew the technical aspect of it. I just needed to do it
mm,
and like start something. And so I was like, what would I talk about? And as a Christian, I was like, I'll just do a Christian podcast. Why not? But it has grown since then to where it's yes, it's Christian based, it's faith based, but we look at the entire psyche of a person: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, holistic health, holistic wellness. And so for me, I more so focus on, like, if I'm going solo, I would talk about spiritual things. But I bring on subject matter experts or guests who can talk to mental things, who could talk to how to be physically fit, who could talk to emotional things, who could talk to about learning, And so I wanted to bring a different voice out there because I got tired of listening to people who were just like negative and like, this person is this. I'm like, are you even researching? Oh,
Oh,
and on top of this, I'm getting my master's degree. So I'm doing masters right now. A master's that's not and so for me, I'm like,
wait. Uh, at this moment in time, are you painting like the 16th chapel with your finger? I just got to ask because, like, yeah, like I'm about to just get up and leave this conversation. Go, hey, let's call out to my lady and go, hey, baby, I need to do more stuff right now. Like, about to get your master's. Like, okay,
but
come on.
because I'm like, I have the tools to be able to research, find things out, bring people on who can speak to these different things, and be a different voice out there for people who going through this crazy time. But I didn't know there would be a pandemic happening. I didn't know there would be a whole bunch of civil unrest happening. And I was like, well, good time I started something. So now we have like there's a different voice out there
Yeah,
versus the back and forth that our society, especially here in America, where our society chooses forces you to choose a side.
yeah. Like, this is the thing. Like, choosing a side and, like, basically that sort of endless drone of sort of negativity, which I look, it's not an American thing, it's a global thing at
Mm,
this present time. Look,
yeah,
and when I kind of look at anything, I go, right, you can't, like, just simply going, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. It's not that simple for a
yeah,
lot of it. Look, okay, look, if it's about, yeah, taking out people and, like, putting a gun to their head and, like, taking, like, shooting, yeah, I'm like going, no, that's wrong. But when you're talking about running a country, you got to
yeah.
go, there's some good over there, there's some good over there.
Hmm.
Like, let's take the best parts of everything, put it into a pot, see what we've got. Mm,
Exactly.
hopefully it makes something good. But as I go, it's this team, it's that team. Look, I sit here as an outsider looking at the American political system. I'm not going, oh God. Yet, like, all I've got to simply say is, yeah, both choices you had this election were rubbish.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking. I like look one guy who was desperately trying to remember what day of the week it is. The other guy so egotistical, it
Yeah.
was just laughable and, like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I got to wow.
Man, it has and it has been like that for many many years with different choices that we've had. It's just it's very it's a complicated thing, and so I I feel like that's why I feel like I did the podcast, because like I said, it goes back to my whole vision thing. My whole vision is to leave a legacy behind.
Yeah,
And so the podcast flows into that. What legacy am I going to leave behind? If I die, at least people will know that they can go back to the podcast and listen to some episodes that spoke to politics in a positive light, in regards to like not taking two sides, or but in looking at the bigger picture. They can go back and listen to things that talk about mental health, emotional health, like keeping your psyche and stuff like that. And so it funnels back into my whole vision and stuff like that that I have for my life. And so that's why I started the podcast. Well, I started because I was like, there's some ignorant stuff out there, but that's why the podcast has continued to keep going on.
no, but, like, this is the thing. What kind of makes me like juggle is because, look, yeah, you go, yeah. people don't do their research. It's like if you're sitting in front of a Zoom camera, right? That
Yes.
you connected to a computer, or you could
Yeah.
have a phone and just simply like going, "Is that correct?"
Yes. And this is the thing that blew my mind, because like I said, I've always wanted to do a podcast,
Yeah.
and so I would listen to a lot of them, um, and I would listen to a gamut just because, um, and some of the uninformed ones that I would listen to, I was like, even if it's your opinion, yes, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
You have to know and understand that people are going to still listen to your opinion and take it and form, and from that opinion form another opinion that you may have um, helped create, if it's decisive rhetoric, then that's what your words have weight, it has value, it has meaning. And so one thing, I don't take that as I don't take that lightly. you know it's like, even in opinionated podcasting, I would say, even in opinion pieces, uh there's people who are listening to it and taking it to heart, and running with it, and it's creating this schism within our society.
Mm,
And so, hopefully the podcasts like yours, mine, and others, where we actually sit down and listen and talk, and and try to inform people, hopefully it can help bridge that gap and that schism that is there.
mm.
So, yeah, that's why I continue to do it.
Yeah,